Homeworld 3. Gameplay first look trailer was the one you sent me to. Gameplay first look trailer. This one right here. Yeah, if it's DMCA'd because of music, you're just gonna screw over my channel. So please don't do that in.
Dune Sea. I remember the guide stone, the diamond shoals, the sisters of Balcora spinning 100 billion stars.
Of course, watching these things probably gets me DMCA striked anyway, but whatever.
The core.
I don't need you to rickroll me or something right now.
I remember opening the gates.
Look like Ghost in the Shell or something. So this is the 3D, like Command and Conquer RTS type game. It's pretty crazy. Oh yeah, trailers are fine. I just don't want to watch like music videos or something.
Was it so long ago? No, not so long.
Check out the gameplay too. Okay.
But not long enough.
The music's really cool. Of course, if it's got vocal music in the background, I'll be a fan. Remember the first Homeworld from the late 90s you didn't know was still a thing? Well, yeah, let's see if we can look at some gameplay. Wait, that said gameplay first look. Was that gameplay? Try this official gameplay trailer. Let's look at this one. That was like a video of the gameplay, not actual.
It was a simple perimeter scan.
So here we get to see some UI. So you like select your units.
But we were ambushed by Kalan raiders.
I guess the thing I'm most confused about is what's your viewpoint? How do you move around the map if it's got a Z-axis? What's the vocal version of Barbara's Adagio for strings? It's oh, is it Omanium? I forget what text is used. Agnus Dei. Agnus Dei. Agnus Dei is the text they use.
Fighters were no problem, but the missile frigates
I believe.
were a different story. Command got clever.
It's based on that?
To keep themselves safe on approach.
Interesting.
While another group found a tunnel in the structure to sneak behind them.
We're on the right path with range. Get you up. Let's do this.
That's crazy to see a real-time strategy game with
just before a carrier battle group arrived.
With that third axis.
We scrambled bombers.
Sector confirmed. Scanning zone adjusted.
Perfect for
looks FTL to you?
This is bomber lead. Engaging carrier.
We protected the resourcers while they hauled in.
Hi-fi FTL.
Which meant we could roll out assault frigates.
Cleared hot. Let's take it to him. Stay on him.
Break contact.
You get adjust camera angle, and it makes a lot more sense for space game. Attack from all directions, not just from four corners. Controls pretty normal. You can use shift to move the cursor on the Z-axis, and the ships will move up and down. That's crazy.
Command
I feel like that would take a big shift in perspective.
The carrier exploded. Beautiful.
In practice,
and we even grabbed a little souvenir. That missile frigate
to be good at that
is ours now.
Kind of control. It's like Ender's Game, you know, the whole thing where the kid learned in that, you know, 4G or in the 0G. He had to learn in that for him to shift his brain to be able to think quickly at it and that kind of thing. Well, let's. I want to look at more of the. Is the Video Game Award trailers, right? 2022 trailers. There was a mission in the first game where you had to fly up diagonally, following a nebula to hide you. Because I was watching another streamer watch these, and I only saw some of them. So, I don't care about Death Stranding. The Armored Core one was pretty cool. Hades 2, Suicide Squad was not that interesting. I don't care about Tekken. The Jedi Survivor one looked pretty cool, I think. Because this is the one that's a sequel to the, what, the Jedi Order or whatever? Which I never played that one, but I've heard it's good. I feel like it's one I should stream at some point.
The order is gone. I was betrayed by the one I trusted most.
Fallen Order, is that what it's called?
I will not be imprisoned again.
Do we know if the story is like a continuation of that? Like KOTOR kind of was with KOTOR 2? Was KOTOR 2 a continuation? I forget.
The Empire's most wanted.
Graphics are almost close to Kestrel Adventures. Yeah, totally. It is same characters as Fallen Order?
Jedi. Remind our friend here why his kind are supposed to be dead.
It's called Kestis is Grown Up. Okay. The combat I thought looked pretty cool from what this trailer showed.
After all we've done, the Empire's only grown stronger.
Basically a Souls Light. Probably getting the game easy.
Explode.
Star Wars with Dark Souls type combat. Sounds pretty awesome, honestly.
The Jedi is a threat.
Now that we have this,
This looks really cool.
as long as we fight.
Slowing time, be able to move dudes in front of lasers and stuff.
Hope survives.
I don't know why he's got to have a Kylo Ren type of lightsaber. Final Fantasy 16 looked interesting.
Take Joshua
frickin'
and get
loud,
to
though.
safety.
I'm not going without you.
I'm going to hold the
Rick and Morty had a cool rant about Star Wars in the most recent episode. You played the first game with no expectations. You were very positively impressed. Fallen Order? I definitely need to play it then. I have heard good things about it. I haven't played a Final Fantasy game in forever. The last Final Fantasy game I played was, I played some 14 of the MMO.
Revenge is a weapon.
I know the games can be epic, but a lot of times it feels like the gameplay is not that
I
interesting.
sometimes wonder if I am controlling it, or if
This
it's
game, the game is
controlling
canon.
me.
The games are canon for Star Wars? Seriously? God, that's crazy. But not the Thrawn series. Hate those little side thingies on the saber. Oh, talking about the lightsaber? Yeah. Seems stupid. When would that actually stop a sword from hitting your hand? A lightsaber from hitting your hand?
No matter how bitter the truth that awaits me.
I remember watching a YouTube video about what would actual lightsaber combat be like if they were real. And it'd be more like fencing because all you have to do is like touch somebody and they're out, you know?
13
It's
years
more about
I've waited for this
getting in
chance.
range without taking a hit rather than,
Dying today.
you know,
Come to me, Ifrit!
samurai fighting, which is what it kind of looks like in the movies. Thought the explanation was that the Kyber Crystal Kylo's sword is cracked, and that only looks like crossguard is basically a way of letting that plasma out. Oh, okay. I honestly don't care about those things, so I don't know what Judas is. BioShock, huh?
The ship is dying. And my own
What is this thing? Is that like a bunny head? What is this?
way out of here is with one of them.
What is this? I'm sure the samurai combat's on purpose. Eat the cookie. I agree with that. What is this weird music? This BioShock in space instead of underwater. Weird characters in this.
People say I have this coming.
Oh, it's a sea shanty?
You know
It's a
what?
space shanty.
They're right.
Fix what you broke. Okay, interesting. Interesting. They probably made that up post facto because everyone just his stupid lightsaber. Oh, the cracked thing, I'm sure. The rock version of a pirate shanty called Leave Her Johnny. Oh, is that what it is? Yeah, definitely BioShock vibes with, I would say, slightly less realistic, like, graphics, right? Because didn't BioShock... I mean, I know a lot of people were, like, covered in, like, you know, they had the big underwater gear, but this main character doesn't look super realistic human. Okay, I know the Diablo 4 trailer is cool because I watched this one, so... Say what you want about Blizzard and their cash-grabbing ways, but they can make a frickin' trailer, so we're gonna watch this one because it's just really cool. Kind of gross, though. You don't look at the gross feet hurt pain. You had hype for Diablo 4 5 years ago. You lost some interest in that kind of game since then. Well, if it's good enough, I will play it because I like ARPGs. I did play Diablo 3 some on stream. I'm cautiously optimistic that Diablo 4, that's really cool, will actually be good. Yeah, I think it'll be good. I've watched some gameplay and dev discussion of it. And that's why I'm cautiously optimistic.
May we fight true.
No one ever accused Blizzard of being bad at selling things. True. They're too good. So, greedy. That's the real thing they're accused of. Greed. But they are acting Blizzard, so...
Blessed be the light.
I don't know how realistic this is, but it sure is cool. Blessed be the light. up, Arcane Mage?
I have returned to hell for you.
Bit 60 hours in Diablo 3, probably 300 hours in Diablo 2. 20 years ago, your dream of Blizzard games become as realistic as their trailers. Yeah, right. Stay in your fixed position. Do not charge enemy like some morons. Phalanx for the win. Okay. All right. Let's see what else we got. Earthblade. I don't know what this one is. Like, I've seen some of the gameplay for Diablo 4, and if it actually gives... The thing I didn't like about Diablo 3 is that I like there to be... like, I like you to be able to customize your build and not say, okay, I want to be a Frost Mage, and every Frost Mage is exactly the same. I hate that. I hate when you play a build and there's only one way to play the build. And Diablo 3 was, okay, this season, this set of gear is the best set of gear to make this type of build work. And you can't, there's no build experimentation. And to me, that's so boring. So I'm hoping Diablo 4 lets you actually experiment and have different build varieties and that kind of thing. Because that's why I think Path of Exile is just a better game than Diablo 3, because there's actual build variety. So, alright, let's see what Earthblade is. Yeah, Google your build is, and then grind areas for gear, yeah. I never played Celeste. I've heard that's a really good game, too. Yeah, I guess really repetitive, that type of gameplay, I agree. This is kind of like Hollow Knight. Is Celeste and Hollow Knight the same genre? Side-scroller action game. .2D action platformer, yeah. It's not a genre I played a lot, really ever got into. But I guess if you're into this thing, there's probably a lot of people really excited for this game. A lot of people were really into Celeste. Yeah, I heard really good things about it. Just like Hollow Knight. Alright, cool. What's next? Warhammer 40k. Speaking of Warhammer 40k, what is this next one? Space Marine 2.
We are the defenders of mankind against the horrors that dwell in the darkness. While we draw
Blood and gore.
breath, we
Respect it, I
stand.
will.
While we stand,
If it's like a Gears-like
fight.
game. Me and my friend Tim used to play Gears like crazy. This actually looks pretty cool. Like Warhammer Gears of War, it sounds pretty awesome.
We are the angels of death. We are the blade
Chopping
drawn
enemies with a
against the endless
chain.
night.
Saw.
Nothing will survive our wrath.
That actually does look pretty cool. Actually does look pretty fun.
It starts
Oh,
in the desert.
we were talking about Dune.
You
Is this the
cling
Stellaris
to
one?
life. You find others, friends.
Warhammer Dark Tide.
You wander
Has,
the dry,
co-op
dirty
multiplayer.
streets of civilization.
Was that last one Dark Tide? No, it was Space Marine 2. I played
In the
Vermintide
ancient
though.
halls of the testing stations, you find answers.
I don't know if that's the same as Dark Tide though.
You seek the secrets of the ever-shifting sands.
Is this an RTS? What is this?
Spice.
That looks like an RTS.
do all of these things in my dream, Sleeper. I am terrified of what happens when you awaken.
Okay, I have no idea what kind of game that is. I think it's an RTS. Open world. Oh, it's an open world survival MMO? Oh, now that's cool. A Dune open world survival MMO. What? They're making a Dune MMO? Huh. Is that what Valheim's a survival MMO, right? No, that one's like not an MMO. It's a survival. What's a survival MMO? I'm trying to think what is an act what's another game in that genre? What's that game with it? Ark? Is Ark that? I know MMOs are still a thing. Well, I keep hoping for an MMO I'd actually like to play. I would think Ark would be the closest, because you can have like persistent servers, but I don't know if it's not an actual MMO. I can't think of a survival MMO. We're playing Valheim right now. It's super fun. Like an MMO version of Ark. I guess Rust, yeah. I guess 7 Days to Die. But are they actual MMOs when you're having to host your own server or something? It's not like a centralized server. So I don't know what game would be considered survival MMO. I assume survival means hunger, thirst, build shelter. You have a tech tree to work through, and you collect resources and increase your, weapon types. That's what I would assume. What is this one? Remnant 2. That's a cool song. You know, something I think about sometimes, if you're a king and your job is to sit on a throne and like pass judgment, would you really just sit on your throne doing nothing? Who just sits on their throne doing nothing? You at least have a cell phone to play a video game, right? Like, you're in a video game, you go, I'm gonna go meet the king. The king's just sitting on his throne doing nothing. Who just sits on their throne doing nothing? Nobody. It's boring. Nobody just sits on a throne, right? Seems pointless to try to survive on the Dune world. You build in the desert, sandworm comes and eats you. Well, that's what you have to survive somehow. Streamers. I mean, we're playing video games. I'm not sitting here doing nothing. Maybe he's on his phone playing a game. You just don't see it. Maybe he's got his crown or his mask. He's doing VR. I don't know. This looks like an FPS, I guess. Lots of people trying to chainsaw. Oh, yikes. Chainsaw other people. These days trailers. Oh, that's a weird model. I have no idea what Remnant 1 was, so I don't know what this game is at all. Kind of like a story FPS or something. Yeah, Souls-like with guns, does kind of look like that. But it looks like it has, what is it called, QuickTime events? And Souls-like don't really have QuickTime events, right? Chainsawing people seems like a Warhammer thing. Well, that's what the Warhammer thing we watched earlier was using a chainsaw sword. But this does kind of look Elden Ring with guns. Remnant 2. Okay. Probably not something I'd be interested in. Lords of the Fallen. Getting small Elden Ring vibes based on how characters look. You'd like to see a streamer play at first. It's the Lords of the Fallen. I swear, with how popular Elden Ring was. It seems like there's going to be so many games that are trying to be Elden Ring-like with their, you know, story and gameplay and challenging boss fights, you know? It seems like a lot of these look like Elden Ring wannabes. You hope they do? You like that genre?
Holy Aureus, giver of life and light.
But if they're all $60, how are we going to afford them all?
In
So expensive.
divine radiance, we trust.
Whoa, that's
Shield
creepy.
our souls with grace, our hearts with hope,
Maybe one copycat won't suck.
and guide our path eternal.
Because this gives me Elden Ring vibes
Turn our
too.
gaze from what lies beyond your luster, where wickedness dwells.
Is $70 now? What?
Arm us with your golden splendor.
Weird.
Together,
ASMR.
vanquish the darkness.
Why are you talking? Why are you whispering in my ear?
In light,
Makes me feel
we
funny.
walk.
Yeah, this looks like an Elden Ring clone. Or Souls-like, or whatever you want to call it. Weird body horror and boss fights. From Software. Wait, no, it's not From
The
Software.
Lords of the Fallen.
Really produce an Elden Ring type game, it costs a lot and takes like 5+ years. It'd be too early for true copycats. I agree. That's why I'm like, when I see all these, I'm like, there's no way they're good, you know? To be expansive and as well made as Elden Ring. What you don't like about games like that, you can look like Sauron, you're just not as powerful. Yeah.
Wishlist now.
They're just gonna be like, they're just gonna be bad Elden Rings, it seems like. Bayonetta. I've never gotten into these games, but I know some people really love the Bayonetta games. Right, Elden Ring is from Souls, yeah, I know. Yeah, I feel like the reason Elden Ring was so good is because of their track record of Souls games. Elden Ring is like the big culmination of everything they've learned from all their Souls and whatever the vampire one was, Blood something. What is this? Alright, I really don't care about an anime game like this, so I'm gonna skip this one. I'm gonna skip this one. Sorry if anybody really looks forward to that.
Controlling something powerful. It's easy to assume.
What is
it takes
this?
Strength. But what
Is this a
I've
Destiny
learned,
sequel?
through loss, we can overcome.
Yeah, I'm not the target audience for that. Oh, it's a DLC for Destiny 2? Okay. Yeah, where's Bioware, right? Because it looks like it's just Destiny 2 with skins, so that probably means DLC. What's it called? Lightfall? I mean, the cutscenes look cool. You liked first FPSs into your 20s? When you started to get worse, you lost interest. Yeah, it's like trying to get into League of Legends or something. Unless it's all you do, it's hard to get good at them. That was a weird visual. Where's the not actually gameplay footage disclaimer? I know, right? Well, it's like getting to anything competitive. I feel like FPSs, unless you only play FPSs, they're not fun because you're bad at them. That's at least my take on playing FPS games. Or Street Fighter games. Well, let's watch this trailer for the lulz. I played Street Fighter 2 when I was a kid. What is this? Wow, what is this trailer? Dance Dance Revolution. Street Fighter style. I don't even recognize any of these characters. Where's Ken and Ryu? Chun-Li and... What are these characters?
He was obsessed, you see.
You played Tekken 3 when you were younger?
With finding an appropriate vessel for this power.
Showtime, baby!
Who are these characters?
An honor, to be sure.
Are these new characters, or have they replaced all the classic? This doesn't look like Street Fighter. This looks like Tekken or one of those games. People who remember the old characters probably don't buy the games anymore. You're probably right. But I mean, they had like good Dragon Ball Z fighter games, right? So there's probably good fighters out there. This does not look like one. It's almost over. Okay, good. This is so man, why don't I play fighting games? And then I watch this and I'm like, oh, okay. DJ's old, he was in Street Fighter Alpha too. Okay. Hellboy game, what?
Where do you think nightmares come from?
Art style's weird. More about the mechanics, yeah.
When your people
it's true.
Huddled around the first campfire and stared out into the dark. You created us to stare back. What are you?
Me? I'm mad.
Okay. This is a Hellboy Dark Souls? What is this? With a really weird art style. Okay, that graphics look kind of bad on that. Does Hellboy belong to Marvel, DC, or is it independent? That's a good question, because if it was Marvel, I feel like it would have way better graphics than that. Dark Horse, you're right, right here, Dark Horse Comics. So, I wonder if this is like indie developed, because it could be cool, but like the animation, the graphics did not look super amazing there. Yeah, it's a style, but looks like indie style. Dead Cells Return to Castlevania? Based on Mike's style. Who's Mike? The creator of Hellboy? Do I know what Dead Cells is? Seems like maybe whatever Dead Cells is like a DLC for it or something. Roguelite from 2 to 3 years ago. What's the gameplay like? Because this is just a trailer. I have no idea what the gameplay is actually like. Well, yeah, it's a Castlevania DLC, I guess. The 2D platformer. You played a bunch of it in early access, hack and slash, randomly generated levels? Okay. Well, does anybody else have any trailers? Because I feel like that's all of the trailers from the video game awards. And I don't know if there's any other games that y'all know about that's coming out. Oh, I skipped the Hades True trailer. We can watch that one. Hades. I never played the whoops. Hades Town. No, Hades 2. I never played the Hades 2 game. The trailer looked really cool though. That's also the crossover with Shovel Knight too. Okay, so it's a crossover DLC. What genre do you call Hades 2? Because it's not like a 2D platformer, right? It's like a top-down action roguelite? Isometric, whatever you call that. Not platforming, right? It's just all combat and like movesets, dodging, random weapons you can get. You know anything about Hades? It's going to show some gameplay, I think, in a bit. Meta progression is involved too.
Not good enough. We can but learn. And the greatest teacher is out there. Now go. Death to Kronos.
Death to Kronos.
This is an opportunity for you to make a better future for us all.
Because the animation and
least I can do is light your way down.
Combat looks cool. I can see why the first one was popular.
No, I was born for this.
I think I've heard people say that Hades was their favorite roguelite. Roguelite, whatever.
Okay, if I call you witch like that.
Vengeance for your family awaits you.
He is no mere titan. He is time itself, and time cannot be stopped.
It was really good, just didn't have incredible replayability.
Wait for me, Father. I'll be this.
It's like once you unlock everything, there's nothing else to do, kind of thing. Looks cool. Again, it's one of those kind of more action-style games I don't get super into. But Hades 1 was a really good game. Still is a good game, yeah. Won some Game of the Year awards. Best roguelite in terms of weaving the story into gameplay. You can delete save files and do it again faster. That's the replayability. Well, what's funny is a lot of the games that like win Game of the Year, like Elden Ring and like Hades, it's like, it feels like replayability is never like at the top of the list of factors, right? Like the games I play forever are never Game of the Year games. Like FTL never won Game of the Year. Did Darkest Dungeon ever win Game of the Year? Or Monster Train? I feel like all those games are like, the best streaming games are not always the best critically acclaimed game, I guess. Elden Ring was pretty replayable. But I watched some video. I actually watched a video about why don't I play it anymore. A guy who would play thousands of hours of Dark Souls. Where Elden Ring is, it feels like because it was an open world, you could do everything. Once you did it all once, it felt like there was less draw to come back and do it again. Yeah, still burnout. All right, well that was fun to watch some trailers. Hades is a small studio, so you get that kind of praise means more than a joke. That's true. The fact that it did win any game rewards, and it's probably a more indie developer, is pretty impressive. What was the thing on Elden Ring? Well, here, let me show you. It was in my history. Elden Ring. Why don't I play anymore? Is that what it was? Yeah, if Elden Ring is so good, why am I not playing it? By Ratataskar, who's apparently a fairly well-known streamer, but or a gamer who plays all the Souls-like. So, and he talks about the reason why he like he played through Dark Souls like 7-8 times, or Dark Souls 2 he still plays it, and it had to do with like the PvP not being very good in Elden Ring, or the community not as good, and the I don't know. I would recommend you watching the video because I'm probably not going to watch it on stream. Oh, KSP 2. Yeah, let's do another one. Oh, I should have. This is probably the one I'm most excited about, honestly. Yeah, okay, I'm going to shut up. This is going to be awesome. I hope. Not actual gameplay. Damn it! Have I seen this before? I think I have seen this before. Yeah, I can't wait to go interstellar and build bases on other planets. So great. This is such a great trailer. Yeah, this looks like the early access trailer I already watched a long time ago. I wonder if there's anything more recent than this. Unless they added to the trailer, maybe. Yeah, this will probably be DMCA. It's fine. I won't be able to monetize this part of the stream anyway. Yeah, we need to see actual gameplay. I want to see if there's anything more recent on KSP2. Let's see. Yeah, that's 9 months ago. KSP2. Is there any gameplay? Let's look if there's any gameplay. New gameplay from 1 month ago. 6 minutes. Kerbal Space Program 2 gameplay presentation. Let's see here. No commentary on that one. This one looks like it's from a gaming show. There isn't much yet. Yeah. What's up, Sensei Chroma? In the dev updates are only short sequences and a lot of talking. Well, let's choose one of these and which looks most interesting. This one looks pretty interesting. This 46-minute one looks really long. Let's watch this one here.
Hi there, I'm Imogen Mellor from PC Gamer, and I am joined by Kerbal Space Program 2's Nate Simpson.
Yeah, I don't want to hear a bunch of talking about it. Figured to join a stream, so there's nothing much better to do, to be honest. Okay, well, we're just watching. I'm ending a stream by watching some stuff. Good old KSP music, though. Here we go. This is a little gameplay. This is what I wanted to see. Looks like an extraterrestrial planet with that green moon or planet or whatever. I love their faces. Looks like somebody collected a bunch of gameplay and put the KSP music behind it. It was pretty cool. Oh, that's cool. That is that like a station somebody built? Hold on a sec. So can you like build these stations on other planets? Because that's what I wanted to do in the first Kerbal Space Program. I wanted to build stations on other planets and stuff. That to me is the coolest thing that hopefully you'll be able to do. Collect resources and create bases on other planets. Using like actual physics and stuff. Which is kind of like, what was that game we played for a while that Nietzsche still runs a server for? Space Engineers? But hopefully less buggy. Maybe more realistic, I don't know. Interstellar Travel, Outpost. Sounds so cool. I feel like it might be really hard though if you have to figure out the actual physics and science for yourself to make it not fall apart. So the trailer where everything's breaking maybe should scare me because everything you try to make will probably break. Wow, look at the UI. That's really cool. Rocket Man vibes. Well, it's like, it's KSP, it's Kerbal Space Program, but like, looks so much cleaner and upgraded. KSP, such a cool game. Oh, that's cool. This was always the hardest part for me in Kerbal Space Program, was making an actual airplane-like thing that I could fly and didn't just insta-crash. Fly a rocket to space, easy. Build a plane, impossible. It was meant as an educational program. They never thought it would be that popular. That's why they can do much more for the second game. Oh yeah, that's why I'm so excited about it. Because KSP was amazing, but it was not the best game because the actual gameplay wasn't meant for... You're right. It was like a physics simulator or a how do planetary gravitational physics work in a scale system. Not a how do we make a fun game that uses these systems. And that's what I'm hoping KSP2 will be. Music is so good, yeah. I think this is music from the first Kerbal Space Program. Your planes would regularly tip up or down willy-nilly, yeah. Oh, that's cool. I'll watch that again. It'd be cool if you could do things like mine asteroids or get resources from different planetary bodies and then use those for your system building and stuff. Oh, that's cool. So you can... He was customizing the fins. You couldn't do that in the first one, could you? I don't think you could. That's cool. That moon is falling apart. It's wobbling. My rockets did that. Shanna likes to call time warp time zone. Okay. I'll have to look up if there's any. We don't know any release dates or anything, right? Ramses or early access. Availability or anything like that. You build space stations at KSP, but it's really finicky. I'll expand on that because many people want to do that. Yeah. Well, and what could you do with space stations? You collected research, and that was like all you could do, right? Like being able to make them and use them as like refueling stations and stuff. I wonder what all you'll be able to do, because I wanted to go to other planets and do something there. My biggest issue with KSP was once you got to places, you couldn't do anything. You got there, you landed, then you went back home. There's not... Like, you could drive around, but there's not, like, resources you collect. Building a base doesn't do any good, except maybe it's a refueling station. I mean, as far as gameplay goes, that's cool looking. What would you do once you got to another planet? And that's what I'm hoping KSP has, is things to do. Like, build a space station! Early access February 24th next year. That's cool. That's cool. Wow, that's awesome looking. Oh wow, that's a... So that's a ship that's docked with a station, it looks like. That's so cool. Or like a plane or rocket plane, I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna wish list it as soon as I get done with this, actually. If I haven't already. Follow, wish list, all the things. Like, subscribe, follow, donate, Patreon, I don't know. Oh, that's freaking cool looking, man. Oh, that's super awesome. All right, let's wish list it now. KSP 2. Okay, apparently that doesn't work. Kerbal Space Program 2. February 24th, 2023. All right, wish list, follow. You had made a rover for the moon, and after like an hour, you had all the science data. Yeah, that's the thing. Like the only thing you could do in KSP 1 once you got to places was get data for it, and it's like, as fun as that is, there's not a lot of gameplay there, so. You can't wait for those KSP streams. I can't wait to play it, and I hope it's good and there's stuff to do. But my friends, this was a fun little bonus time. I hope you all enjoyed just hanging out watching videos. We can do more of this in the future if people have other videos. You can always send me whispers on Twitch of things that you think I should check out. But as I always say, thank you all for watching. We got a couple of FTL runs in. Since we're ending here, let me let you all know what's going on this week. Tomorrow, I have an early morning gig, but I'll probably do one hard no pause run and then try out Brotato in the afternoon. Wednesday, I don't think I'm going to be able to stream at all because I have 3 gigs in a rehearsal that night. Thursday, I have 2 really long gigs. So Friday, God, I don't know if I'm going to be able to stream anymore besides a little bit tomorrow. So we're getting through that Disney, that Christmas caroling season. So they added missions later. Yeah, and I played when they had those missions. It was fun. It gave us some stuff to do, but it got kind of repetitive and kind of run out of stuff to do. And it was kind of fun to do that stuff, but if you're just doing the same save a Kerbal over and over or go research another planet over and over, it didn't let you, build a station here and gather materials to create a base so that you can move further off into Interstellar or something like that. That's the kind of stuff that I think would be amazing if KSP 2 lets you do. So I'm going to call it a night. Thank you all again for all the support. Bits, follow, subs, give subs, lurking, hanging out, all that amazing stuff. Y'all make this possible. Love you, awesome people. And I will see you all tomorrow for a bit and then whenever I can get back on. So until next time, peace out, happy gaming. Y'all enjoy the sea shanty. I'll see you next time. Have a great night. Later, my friends.